Hello, we're answering questions on health and medical problems. I'm joined by Dr. Rosemary Leonard. Hello.
Hello.
Rosemary, I've got a question here from a lady about her husband. Her husband is in his 70s. She says he seems forgetful, struggles to find the right word and loses his temper frequently. She's now become quite scared of leaving him in the house, and she wants to know, because they're both in their 70s, is she looking at a husband who's got Alzheimer's? Is that what's going on?
Not necessarily. It's quite surprising. In the elderly, you can get a personality change and you can get memory problems from relatively simple, straightforward conditions, such as an underactive thyroid, such as even a urinary tract infection, a chest infection. In men, particularly urinary tract infections can be a problem, and they can lead to problems like this. So he needs to go and have a general checkup first to be sure that he hasn't got an underlying medical condition that is causing this change in his personality. If that's ruled out, then he needs to go and have specific memory testing done. Now, some old people just do get a bit forgetful in later life. We all get a bit more forgetful in later life. What's more worrying to me in this is the fact that he's losing his temper. Now, he may be losing his temper because he's getting frustrated at the fact he can't remember things. So you need to sort of explore that a bit further. But it doesn't necessarily mean he's got Alzheimer's.
And if he were beginning Alzheimer's, though, there are drugs on the market that can actually arrest its development now, aren't there?
Yes, there are, but they can only be prescribed by specialists in special clinics in the hospital. They cannot be prescribed by GPs. So what we have to do as GPs is refer people on. The other thing that's important about these clinics is not only can they prescribe the drugs that can be helpful, but there are specialist support nurses that can come round to your own home and see how things actually are in the home. Because the other thing to remember, when you've got a problem like this, it's interesting, she's written in, it can put a huge strain on the partner coping with somebody who's got memory problems. And you need support with that. And
it's increasing, it seems, all the time. It's interesting about this phrase, absent-mindedness, because most people's first reaction, as you said, is we all get a bit more absent-minded as we grow older, and sometimes you put the problem away then and don't really look at maybe where it's going.
Yes, I mean, generally, a bit of absent-mindedness is nothing to worry about, but you do have to look at the whole picture. And for instance, is this man still driving? Can he remember traffic signs? You have to look at everything involved with his life. She's worried about leaving him in the house, but also when he goes out of the house, what happens then?
So she has to get him along to the GP. And in this case, do you think it would be better for her to make the appointment and they go along together?
Yes, and if he refuses, which sometimes happens, and says there's nothing wrong with me, then you can have a chat with the GP without him being there, and the GP can then go and do a home visit.
As usual, very good advice, Rosemary. Thank you for answering that question. And if you have a similar problem, we hope we might have given you some help. But remember, it's always best to go and see your own doctor for medical advice. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more health questions and answers.